Over half of all Americans either own or work for a small business. Many economists say small businesses are, in fact, the engine driving our economy. We see it right here in D.C., where each year scores of tiny startups headed by innovative entrepreneurs strive to grow their dreams into successful businesses. Hi, and welcome to Inside One City. I am Vincent C. Mayor of the District of Columbia. Some believe that even in a struggling economy, small businesses are the little engine that could. Our job is to ensure their success by creating an environment that fosters their economic growth. Joining me for a conversation about the district's programs and services that support both startups and established business is Harold Pettigrew, Director of the Department of Small and Local Business Development. Harold, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Let me ask you, you have what I think is one of the most important jobs in the city in terms of helping to stimulate business growth. Yet not a lot of people know that much about the department that you head. So one, what is a small business, first of all? And then I want to talk to you a little bit about what your department does to help bring small businesses along.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Small business basically depends on the particular industry, but you're talking a company that has as few as 1 to 2 employees, up to 50 to maybe 100. Mm-hmm. It really depends on the industry type and what area that we're looking at.
What about your department? What is it that, if I'm a small business owner, what can I look to that you could help me with in order to be able to help grow my business?
And generally, we provide support in every area of the business life cycle, from startup to growth to expansion. We basically serve as the business development agency for the city.
Now, there's a certification process also for businesses in the District of Columbia. Is that right?
Yes, that's
How does that
correct.
work? Tell us how that works.
Well, basically, the certification program is to help businesses do business with the government. And basically, it certifies that a company is a district-based company. And we provide technical assistance for those companies for them to actually access contracts as well as opportunities with the district.
So what are the advantages of being a CBE? You know, we hear all these initials, LSDB and, and so on and so forth, but why is it valuable if I'm a small business owner to be a certified business enterprise? Sure,
and I think it definitely goes back to the perspective that we want to invest in our companies here in the district. It's important for us to stimulate our economy, and as well, one of your biggest goals of creating jobs and sustaining job growth, that we invest in companies that are here in the District of Columbia. The benefits to the program is basically the preference that's provided to our local companies when contracting. We provide significant benefits as it relates to different opportunities that come through the Office of Contracting and Procurement, as well as with developers and the opportunities that will come about.
Mm-hmm. You know, we're working now to try to bring more business opportunities to some of the areas of the city that may have had less than others. Can you talk a little bit about what your department is doing to be able to contribute to that?
Sure. The biggest area, I think, is technical assistance. Many small businesses, the owners serve as the accountant, the mail person, every single element around the business. And what we realize is that many of our companies, particularly those east of the river, need technical assistance. And so we're working on and figuring out ways that we can help businesses grow and develop, but also access tools, very direct tools, specifically to financial assistance. That's one of the biggest areas. Capital. You know, companies need capital oftentimes to grow and actually develop. So we've been working on very innovative ways to help companies to grow in that sort of way.
I think you touched on something that's probably on the minds of virtually everybody who's in a small business, especially a startup, and that is, how do I access the capital? How do I access the money? How do I get the financing in order to be able to take what I think is a good idea and move it forward? So what advice would you give to somebody who's in a startup business? You know, we see a lot of technology startups now. In fact, I think we're becoming a real hub for technology startups in the District of Columbia. But somebody comes into your office, what do you tell them?
Well, the first thing is information is power. You know, the more information that we can provide to a small business, the more transaction ready that they will become. one of the efforts that we're focused on now is engaging banks to provide technical assistance so that small businesses know how to become transaction ready, or to put it another way, how to do business with that particular company. So that's one level. Another level is there's been actually a program you announced back in August. We've been working with the Department of Insurance, Security, and Banking to launch the State Small Business Credit Initiative. And this is basically our ability through an award from the U.S. Treasury to relax some of the lending standards for our small businesses here in the district. And that's going to be a major tool that we have available to us. Over $13 million as a whole for the program, but $4 million specifically designed to assist companies with accessing credit. So it's a wonderful program.
How are we getting the word out? I mean, you really don't have a really large department. I think you probably have 20 or so employees who work with you. It's a Herculean task to be able to reach so many who need to have this information. So again, if I'm a small business owner or an aspirant to be a small business owner, how do I know what opportunities are available to me?
Well, you definitely can always visit us on the web. The most direct way, however, is the most traditional way of communication, giving us a call. 202-727-3900 is one way.
And people will get a live person on the other end, and they will get a call back right away, right?
They will.
Yeah.
And I would say some of the best customer service experience in the district they will get from the agency. But we are working on innovative ways as well, just using the internet as well as working with our partners in the banking world to promote the program, because ultimately they want to lend, they want to get dollars on the street, and we want the program to be successful as well. So we are going to be looking at a number of ways to communicate by using tools that are already available to us.
The program that you alluded to that we announced a couple of months ago, tell us how that's going and how people can access that.
Absolutely. The program is basically designed to pull in different lenders of all sorts, major commercial banks as well as our community development financial institutions. We've had those companies that actually come and formally participate. And now we're basically sending small business owners to those entities, and they will go through the loan process. And we've actually had some loans processed already, so the program has definitely started.
If you could give one piece of advice to somebody who is a new small business owner or wants to be a small business owner in the city, what would it be?
Again, information is power. The more information you can access and be knowledgeable about the tools that are readily available here in the district, that'll equate directly to small business success.
Well, Harold, I want to thank you for coming to talk about this. Again, you are an important part of our ability to stimulate jobs here in the District of Columbia, get people back to work, and frankly, more than just getting a job, getting a career and becoming a business owner.
Absolutely. We're a small agency with a big charge, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely. Well, just like the federal government, the district government seeks vendors in all avenues of business for contracts. The service or product your small business provides may help the district fulfill its mission of purchasing quality goods and services in a timely manner, and of course at a reasonable cost. You'll learn all about it when Inside One City returns. Stay with us. Welcome back to Inside One City. I'm Mayor Vincent C. For some local vendors, operating here isn't only about doing business in the District of Columbia, but doing business with the district. Joining me now for a conversation about one office whose mission is to partner with vendors and DC agencies to purchase goods and services is James Staten, Director of DC's Office of Contracting and Procurement. Mr. Staten, we're glad to have you here today, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, a lot of people know there's an Office of Contracting and Procurement, don't necessarily know a lot about it. Why don't you start off by telling us some of the challenges that you've faced? You've been there now just a few months, I think since April of this year. What are some of the challenges that you're facing to try to help people in the District of Columbia know what opportunities that are available to them and make it as easy as possible for them to do business with the city?
Sure. Thank you. What we're doing is we're educating vendors on how to do business with the district. And this is walking them through our website where they can have access to the solicitations that are out there on the website, being very transparent, where we put the solicitations, where we post those solicitations on our website. And again, pre-bid conferences that we have on certain solicitations where we invite vendors in to discuss procurements or solicitations. And that's one I think is very effective when the contracting officers on our staff decides that it's necessary to have pre-bid conferences. And that has been very effective going forward.
What do you say to people who say, this process just takes too long? 6 months, 9 months, a year, that by the time I get involved in this and get an answer, life may have moved on, especially in the kind of environment we're in now where we know we're in a difficult economy. We've been in a difficult economy now for certainly 3 years or more in the nation. And people look to the opportunity to do business with the city, but they say it just takes too long, too difficult, too involved, too convoluted.
Yes, and that is, even my prior life, that has been a challenge for many procurement offices, is the length of time from the beginning of a solicitation, the statements of work, through the award of a contract. And it just seemed like we want it overnight. We want it the next day.
Absolutely.
We want
It's
it
the nature
now.
of human beings.
We want it now. So through acquisition planning and the timeliness of that will be very beneficial to all involved, from the agency program area through the contracting process. And that is one area we certainly need to look at and take a challenge on how to shorten the length of time it is to put a contract
so long? I mean, I'm a vendor. I'm a business owner. I want to do business with the city. I want to provide you with office supplies or, some of the services needed by the city. And my first question is, I'd like to do this, but why does it take so long, Mr. Staten?
Well, one is a very good question. One, you mentioned office supplies. It shouldn't take that long for office supplies, but I'm going to use the word complexity. Some procurements, large-scale procurements, are complex in nature, and without giving any specifics. But we would say office supplies. If you're buying pen, pencils, and paper clips, that should move through in a timely manner. But if we're looking at developing a term contract, as we say, district-wide term contract.
What's a term contract?
That's a term contract that for a specific period of time that we decide to put one out for 1 year, for 2 years, and we aggregate spend. Now that could be a little more complex as we survey the agencies or go out and again do a survey
So
to
a
the
term
agencies.
contract could be for any service or any product?
For a specific period of time. It could be, again, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and which is convenient for the agencies to use, where they can just click and order. Perhaps more so than just putting out, again, just individual quotes. And then where we can have, a contract in place where we can use. Let me give another specific example. Medical supplies. In the district, we have several agencies buying medical supplies, and today we decided to do a survey. How can we aggregate the spend? Go out, solicit from the agencies, tell us your core items, the critical items that you have. Then that way we can put together a contract.
So you're constantly gathering that kind of information from the agencies?
From the agencies. And that's just the beginning. Matter of fact, I just released that report, a request last week. That's just one item identified. And this is to help streamline the process. Another area, when we speak of emergency procurements, we should have term contracts in place to help us during the emergency crisis where we won't have to start calling a lot of vendors. We could have prime or multiple vendors on those contracts in place where we can just use, readily available.
What are a couple of things that are right at the top of your list right now in order to improve this contracting process, this procurement process in the city?
One is acquisition planning. That is on the top of the list, and that is required by the PPRA. And that is to develop the platform to get out to the agencies so we can know and plan those procurements that are coming through and establish timelines, identify the hot button ones, the critical ones that we need to move through, and again, help prioritize our workflow.
Are you getting the information you need from the agencies in a timely fashion?
I haven't submitted the acquisition plan yet, so as soon as I get that out there, I will. But now, improvements are needed in getting information to us from the agency, and I hope, for those who are listening, please plan accordingly, and you'll submit to my office and say, we need this like yesterday. And that means we're having to juggle priorities and to get it done for you in a timely manner. So it's going to be very helpful if we can collaborate and plan procurements in a timely manner so we can all agree on the timetable.
We have a new agency that we created that became effective October 1st, the Department of General Services, which is going to be dealing in tens of millions of dollars of procurement activity. I know they will have some autonomy to do some of this on their own, but how will they work with you so that people know, and this is especially around construction projects, architectural services, those kinds of things. How do they work with your office?
Well, now that office has independent authority. We're all under the same PPRA, but it has
what's the
total
PPRA, so folks will know?
The Procurement Practice Reform Act.
Okay.
And DGS has its own independent authority that's independent from my office, but it will follow the same Procurement Reform Act.
But they have to work closely with you in terms of complying with existing laws and statutes, is that right?
That is correct. That still falls under my authority for oversight under the PPRA.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, we just had Harold Pettigrew here to talk about the Department of Small and Local Business Development. How does your organization, how does your agency, your department work with him?
Yeah. Matter of fact, Harold is his Director Pettigrew's office is a one-stop shop for us. We rely on his database for CBEs. And when we have procurements that we don't have a CBE for, we can call his office and ask for assistance. We have large-scale procurements to post to see what's in the work that he may be working on. Procurements, or maybe not procurements, he may be working on certifying suppliers who are absent in the procurements that we are working on.
Quickly, one piece of advice you would give, I'm a small business owner and I want to do business with the city. What one piece of advice would you give to somebody who may be watching this show and wants to know how they can get more involved with providing products or services to the city?
Right. One is to go to our website, the OCP website, that's OCP. dc.gov, ocp.dc.gov.
dc.gov?
Yeah, ocp.dc.gov. Click on that website, and it should be a link there on how to do business with the district, and it should walk them through the registration process. And it should be also a link to take them to the DSLBD website. Now, we want you to register for small local district business. Register with DSLBD to take you through the certification process, and then register in my e-sourcing system or our e-sourcing system so you can start receiving solicitations.
Listen, I want to thank you for coming and joining us. This is a discussion that probably will continue to go on. They may be small businesses, but they can produce a big impact in our city. Coming up, 2 startup success stories and how they got their kickstart right here in the city. Stay with us. Inside One City, we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Inside One City. I'm Mayor Vincent C. Starting your own business is a vital part of the American dream, whether you want to open a corner store or introduce an innovation that revolutionizes an entire industry. Joining me now are 2 successful small business owners who are an important part of the economic engine in D.C. They're here to share their stories about the kind of city services that were helpful in kickstarting their companies. Tamika Cobb, owner and CEO of Emerald Star Cleaning, and Luke Bromley, one of the 3 principals of Gelberg Signs. Well, Luke, you're not exactly a startup, are you? And 70 years in business is long past the startup stage, but you've continued, along with your brothers and those in your family, to work to try to be innovative in how you move forward with your company. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you are doing to be able to move your company forward here in the city.
Okay, in the city in particular, Mr. Mayor, thank you for having me here today. I do appreciate the time we were given here today. Gelberg Signs is a full-service sign manufacturer in Washington, D.C. We're actually manufacturing product. And one of the innovative things that we do is state-of-the-art equipment. We have invested a tremendous amount of equipment and time and personnel to get where we are today. So 7 years, you need to keep changing with the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you also hosted the president as he moved forward with his own small business initiative. Is that right?
That's correct. And back in August, the president was at our facility to announce his jobs report from the previous month, and he was interested in seeing how really small businesses and government can work together when for hiring and workforce training programs that we've developed, and just the growth of business in DC. So don't know how he found out about us, but he did, and he took the time to be with us most of the morning, and I'm so glad that you could attend that meeting as well.
I was glad to. Tamika, you've been around a lot less time than 70 years, but you have gotten your business moving forward. What led you to, want to develop something in the area of cleaning services, and how did you get started?
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me on your show. My company, Emerald Star Cleaning, we've been in business for 4.5 years now. We are based in Northwest DC right now. We are home-based. We are CB certified, and we do business in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I started my business, actually I was custodian with the post office. I was working at the Kirsty Morris branch. And honestly, I was tired of working for someone else. And
I wanted to own your own business, huh?
I wanted to own my own business. I actually at first looked into doing a franchise, but was talked out of doing it. I was giving some bad vibes into doing a franchise. So I was told, go to the SBA, go to the Small Business Administration, Department of Small Local Business, get some information, take classes. And after I did that, I incorporated my business. We've been in business, over 4 years. May 8th, 2007, officially incorporated. And we've been doing well ever since. It's great, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's a lot of hard work.
How did the city help you, if it did, to be able to move from just having an idea to actually being in business and doing work?
One way that the city has definitely helped me get my business off the ground is through CBE, the Certified Business Enterprise through the Department of Small Local Business. The way it's helped me is, instead of me looking for the work, it has brought the work into my lap. Being in they put you in a database. Once you get certified, they put you in a database. And a lot of companies, if they're doing business in a city, it's a requirement that states that they have to at least have 35% of their work sub to another firm, to a CB certified firm. So once they contact the Department of Small Local Business saying I need a cleaning company to do work, what they do is they give them a list of companies that are in the city, and hopefully one of my company is that, and then I get a call.
How many employees do you have now?
Right now, I have 18 employees working for me.
How many?
18.
18. That's a good move forward.
Yes.
Luke, how has the city helped you? How does it help Galesburg? You've been around for 70 years, and one would think maybe you don't need any help.
No, we sure need help, especially in today's economic environment. And I just want to encourage anybody who's listening to this, is the DSLBD office has been an incredible resource. So learn the agencies that can help you out, and the quasi government agencies such as the WDCEP, the Washington DC Economic Partnership, who not only let you know about the DC funded jobs sort of going on, but all the businesses that are coming to DC, so you can get that information there. And there's other programs like that I believe are DC government supported, like the WASIF, Washington Area Community Investment Fund. We did a loan through them. The money came from the district government. It was a very low interest loan for a few years, and it was a great program. So that's how the DC government has helped us through letting us know about all the opportunities through the DSLBD, through kind of maneuvering our way through the government, because you need to have that point of knowledge, and that's what DSLBD office does. And the other major organizations that are attached and quasi-attached to the government have been very helpful.
What advice would each of you give to someone who wants to start a small business to work with our Department of Small Local Business Development? What is the one piece of advice you would give, Tamika, to somebody who wants to get started, somebody who did this just 4.5 years ago, I guess?
I think the biggest advice I would give is take advantage of the opportunities. And we blessed to be in a city where there's a wealth of opportunity here. Whether it's the Department of Small Local Business, there's also the EBIC Center at Martha King Library, where people can go and use computers and look up business plans or how to write business plans and things of that nature. You also have the Small Business Development Center at Howard University that you can also, I've been going to them.
Is it easy to use?
Yes, it's very easy to use. And the best part about it is all free. It's all free. You don't have to pay for it. There are people that are willing to help you in business plan writing and writing contracts and proposals. A wealth of opportunity. So I suggest anybody that's starting a business, take advantage of what you have in the city. You know, Washington, D.C. is a great place. They say it's still, while the country is, you know, a lot of them having, you know, slow droughts as far as business development, D.C. is still, you know, one of the biggest hubs as far as growing your business. So my business advice is take advantage of what this city has to offer.
What about you, Luke? What would you tell
I would definitely concur with everything that Tanika just said. And the number one thing is call the DSLBD office, make a personal appointment to meet with the person there. They'll see you, they'll take their time, and they'll help you navigate all the different agencies and the different resources they have, like creating a business plan, if that's what it takes, all the opportunities meetings. It's a wealth of information, and if you're starting up, take the time to learn that procedure before you get into it, and then once you start, you can hit the ground running.
Do you all get a chance as a result of this to interact with others in small business, just be able to share ideas and stories about, you know, what could be done better or what is going well?
Definitely. I mean, the small local business and also the EBIC SBDC, they give workshops monthly, weekly, where you can actually get to interact with other business owners in various different topics. Say if, you know, one is actually starting a business and they're just coming out, you can actually give them advice. You know, being that I've been in business for some years, I can give them advice on what to go and how to, you know, go about doing certain things. So, you know, that's very helpful in meeting other business owners.
Luke?
Yeah, I would agree with that, and not only take advantage of the opportunity meetings to meet other that DSLBD offers, all the quasi-government from agencies such as the DC Chamber of Commerce, the WDIC, the Washington Development Industry Council, which is a consortium of CBE contracting contractors, the WDCP. There's so many places to go meet face to face with different people.
Well, listen, I want to thank both of you all for coming in. Your stories are very inspiring, and I think they're very helpful to others who may want to follow in your footsteps. Coming up, a recap of why small businesses are a real economic engine in the district and what DC is doing to support them. Inside One City will be back in just a moment. No one should doubt for a minute that the district government is committed to using every tool in our toolbox to provide excellent support services to both startups and existing small businesses. That's because their economic success is the entire city's success. Whether it's shopkeepers or software engineers, restaurants or retail stores, they're all part of the engine that drives our economy. To find out more about DC programs supporting local small business, visit our websites at dslbd.dc.gov and ocp.dc.gov. Thanks for watching Inside One City. I'm Vincent Gray, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.